how to never run out of things to say. If you're a man who's quite logical in his being, and in your interactions with women, you find yourself getting stuck in your head, overthinking, running out of things to say, this video is for you. Today you're gonna learn some practical pieces of advice that are gonna transform the quality of your dates, as well as your emotional freedom in your interactions with women. There's basically two approaches. The first one is preparation, and the other one is developing the ability to free flow and make up new things in the moment and freely associate. I'll explain both to you here today. The easiest thing you can do is to simply write down stories. You know when you're nervous at a work presentation? It's not like you're lacking anything, it's not like you're an imposter, you're just underprepared. If you really know your stuff, if you actually know what you're gonna say in which circumstance, this conversational thread, if you're over-prepared, you'll be a lot more confident, because remember, there's 4 sources of confidence. I'm not gonna go into all of them today, but the first one is competence. Confidence comes from competence. Prepare yourself. Write down 20 stories, some romantic stories, some vulnerable stories, some inspiring stories, some goals you've set, something you've achieved. Remember, never brag, but you can talk about things with a frame of curiosity and excitement. So simply write them down. And as you go through life, you can just have a little notes folder. Holy shit, Miami is crazy, dude. Have a little notes folder on your phone and just write down what happened here today, what happened there. So me and Jacob, yesterday we were walking outside of Whole Foods, for example, and there was a lady on a motorbike with her cleavage rather exposed with an OnlyFans sign, trying to get people to produce adult content with her. I was like, wow, this is a bit of a different experience. When I'm in Miami, I feel like I'm in a GTA movie. So that's like a micro story. I have a million stories that I could share, but this is not about me, this is about you. And this is what we're different to a lot of other people, because a lot of other people will tell you to just make up some nonsense, just learn this line, just learn this facade. It's nonsense, it has to be your story. It's only gonna kick, you're only gonna be charismatic if it's authentic, if it's a story that you've actually lived. And the best way to differentiate yourself in your communication with women is to tell your own stories. Now you have to learn to tell them in an exciting and in a captivating manner, but just simply write them down. And a story doesn't have to be 11 minutes long. Yeah, some will be, but it can just be 2 or 3 sentences, 5 sentences. Write them down, prepare them. That's the first thing. The second skill you have to develop, I mean, this is more preparation, not so much a skill set, but the second skill you gotta develop is free flowing and freely associating in the moment. I'll give you an example of what that might look like. So I can see my videographer's watch. Did you know that most men, a lot of men actually, wear fake watches? And the ridiculous thing about that is you're trying to impress people you don't even like. I like watches. Rolex, Audemars Piguet, Philippe Patek. They're all great. They're all fun. They all have their validity. But do you wear them because you genuinely like them, or for business purposes, or because you think women will like them? Because let me tell you something, the right women, they will care shockingly little about your watches. Speaking about things women don't care about, it's anything you're trying to brag about. Speaking of bragging, I was recently in West Palm at a Tony Robbins seminar. That's not something to brag about, but it was a really beautiful experience. Imagine 2,500 people in a room going crazy, working on themselves, understanding that if they want to achieve their biggest goals, then they have to become the best version of themselves. Do we have to walk this way? Keep it rolling. We walk back, sorry. Keep it rolling. If they want to become the best version of themselves, is this okay? Sorry about that. Then they have to continuously take their personal development serious. And the stories you've seen of people going through really difficult things in their life was actually unbelievable. Speaking of people going through difficult things in their life, one of the biggest challenges that I had growing up, other than being ginger, was that I was actually kind of chubby. It took a long time for me to lose the weight, and even before then, accept me the way I was. When it comes to weight loss, that's a funny thing, right? Because on the one hand, if you're overweight, you want to love yourself the way you are right now, because I've had plenty of overweight clients who can find somebody who's amazing while being overweight. But at the same time, you kind of do want to lose the weight because it's healthy and you'll feel better about yourself. And one of the biggest things that reduces testosterone is actually being overweight. excess body fat. Speaking of you get the idea? I can do this for hours and hours and hours. And this is not because I'm special, you can learn to do this too. Now, I was doing this in a bit of a teaching type of way. If this was actually a date and you were a lady, I would relate things more to you and to me and her and to you in this case, and make it a little bit more fun, make it a little bit more playful. And it wouldn't be coming from such a teacher frame, but because I'm filming the video right now, that's kind of the frame that I'm coming from. But you want to be able to go from one subject to the next. A lot of men are super worried about changing one conversational thread to the next. The magic word, the magic connector is the word anyway. You can talk about smoothies and then say, anyway, speaking of smoothies, this gym over there is actually sick. The one we went to earlier, greatest views in Miami. It was a little bit strange because I do have a fear of heights. And then you switch. And you might say, where's the logical connection between smoothies and the gym? There doesn't have to be one. In a social context, on a date, there are different rules that apply than in your business, than in your career. In a professional environment, in your business, in your job, what you say gets evaluated based on its merits. How much value, how much utility does it have? Does it move the conversation forward? But in a social context, that's not at all it. The value, the utility you provide is the emotions you create within her. Fun is the currency. Emotions, positive emotional spikes, playful, loving, negative emotional spikes. That is truly the currency. So these are the two things you want to develop. You can practice this one every single day. And if you do this for 10 minutes, every single day for 30 days, you won't recognize yourself. Oh, I run out of things to say. That won't be an issue anymore. Prepare and develop the skill set of freely associating. Obviously, this goes so much deeper than this. There's a million more techniques that we could look into, but do this. If you want me to help you personally, click the link below and apply for a free initial consultation. Because what I found with men over the years is, yeah, they are general exercises that are insanely useful, but 80% of success is mindset. You currently have things that you know you need to improve, and there's things you don't know that you don't know. Let us help you with them so you can find a quality relationship with the right woman for the long term. Looking forward to speaking with you soon. Take care.